Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing Changing Landscape 2, but here's what I showed last night for people that weren't at the Sunday night presentation. Okay, first I showed the forecast, and as I said, except they've got out here you can't take pictures. I get a kick out of all the people that come in and take a picture of the forecast, and then leave. They miss a little bit if they do that. So you're looking at a $9 billion market in 2019. Not too shabby. The gripe that the vendors have is that Wall Street doesn't pay enough attention to it. In a couple of slides, I'll show you, I'll give some comments that I get out of Wall Street. Actually, I've talked to Wall Street more the last 2 years than I've ever talked to. And yeah, I've been doing this is the 20th, I think, presentation at last night. EDA market is large enough now to make explosive growth difficult. 11.2% growth, the highest on the forecast, and 2 years we're in the 4% range. So to Wall Street, they don't get too excited. At least some of the Wall Street people don't get too excited. Here's a growth rate chart. The dip is caused because of A, the recession, and B, cadence playing around with the numbers. So, but if you look at the normal EDA market, we're not in the negative. We're always growing. I mean, it might not be as much as it was before, but a recession to us is when we don't grow 10%. Wall Street likes that. At least some of Wall Street likes that. There's a growing movement as the population ages that Wall Street brokers are being asked to pick companies that have a continuous growth pattern upward and to the right, and don't have the deep drops and then the high spikes and the deep drops and the high spikes. Basically, they lose a lot of clients that way with heart attacks. So they want something that's nice and easy, and their retirement funds never go away, and they actually have something left over for the kids. Okay, now let's talk about growth. Let's put IP in there, which we have done, by the way. The new charts include about 10 categories of IP. We're putting it now in the forecast. So IP, as far as we're concerned, is part of EDA. And that brings us up to about $12 billion in 2019. So, to IP or not to IP? EDA forecast at $9 billion, EDA forecast with IP, $12 billion. So that's a nice jump. It's a nice little addition to our traditional EDA market. It's not quite enough to catch the Wall Street's attention for the high rollers. So companies like Mentor and Synopsys are exploring new markets. And by the way, Cadence should be up there because they've got a car on their booth, if you notice. I missed that one, or I would have put them there. But Mentor has been dealing successfully in automotive for quite a while now. Synopsys actually has been successfully dealing in automotive ever since they bought, who did they buy? They picked up a simulator, and an analog design house up in Portland. And that simulator was a simulator that was used for automotive suspension systems. Had been for years, continued to be. As with many acquisitions, Synopsys didn't notice for about 5 years that they had an automotive market. And so when everybody started saying, I've got an automotive market, they said, oh well, we do too. So they're in automotive also. Okay, this is, showed this last year. This is foil I used at DAC in 1996, talking about the design continuum, which is all the various design flows that take up designing systems. Love to reuse sciences. Okay, embedded software. Right now, and they're being folded into EDA fairly rapidly. You got a $2.6 billion number for this year. So it's a nice market. The thing that I like about it is that, well, I'll get into that a little soon, later, but it's one that's fairly easy for us to enter. And that's why I recommend my clients that, take a look at these companies. A lot of them are in play, and you should try to see what you want to do. I've got Mentor, by the way. Mentor's on the side because they're already doing this. They've got the two best tools for multi-core embedded software development is ARM and Mentor. So Mentor's been in this and been doing a good job in this for quite a while. Very good acquisitions, and they continue to make very good acquisitions. A lot of their software is going into the automotive vertical. Okay, so that helps. That's another $2.5 billion. But the big market, the big bucks are in mechanical. EDA has actually caught up with the mechanical market in size, which surprised me, because back in the DataQuest days, mechanical was always a much larger market than EDA. Today, Synopsys Cadence is larger than PTC and Siemens. Mentor is about the size of PTC. Mechanical design market, $6.7 billion. Ansoff, Autodesk, SALT, MSC, and PTC. Mentor, again, is off to the side because we're already counting them in our numbers. Other domains, optical, Synopsys has already jumped into that market. Application development software, again, Synopsys, whether they knew it or not, jumped into that market with the Coverity buy. Biomedical design and chemical design. Okay, let's look at some marketing odds. Application development software is the largest market, but then there's Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, etc. Some real big guns playing that. They're not a couple of $1 billion companies, but a couple of $100 billion companies. So it's not easy to try to take these guys on heads. So what Synopsys is doing is interesting. They're looking at niches that they can dominate, and they've done that in optical, and now they're doing that in application development software. The idea is it's a niche strategy. Go in where you can keep the wolves off your back and take advantage of that niche of a much far bigger market. Other adjacent domains, optical is a small market. Synopsys bought the lead vendor. Bio and chemical need to be explored. You have to look at your the design domains by a few different areas. One is, of course, customer base. Does the customer base match? Does the sales channels match? That tells you how easy it is to get into that area. The other thing you have to look at, if you want to really get serious about this, is that EDA is noted for their algorithmic developers. If you go to